Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to another video where we basically talk about this absolute legend here. Honestly, this guy is like a magician in his own right, and some of the stuff that he has achieved whilst being with us he's quite underrated. It really, really is. So we're basically going to go through Scott's journey in this presentation, and basically going to show you exactly the sort of things that he did to achieve the physique that he has currently got. And I'll be honest with you, the things and the hurdles that this guy's overcome and still made consistent progress need shouting from the rooftops. So we took Scott from seeking guidance on nutrition, training and mindset so he could be in the best shape possible for his daughter's wedding, and to being, now he's basically a part-time athlete. Like genuinely, his training regime, his nutrition is so consistent, but at a very, very good and high level. Yeah, an absolute example of also age is negligible. If you're willing to put the graft in, it doesn't truly matter. And I think he genuinely is reaping the rewards for it. So, Scott's story. When I first met Scott, he was actually in for a sports massage. And during his appointment, we basically just got chatting about him, getting to know him. And it was so clear that he wanted to achieve a physique over the next 12 months. So that he is in the best possible shape at his daughter's wedding. He didn't want to feel fluffy. He didn't want to be overweight. He wanted to be in great shape when he turned up to his daughter's wedding and being that example where everyone looks at and goes, bloody hell, fair play, Scott. And he's basically there. You know, he was the epitome of hard work, owning a guest house in Babbacombe, as well as his own plumbing business. All right. And he is honestly a very, very busy guy, but also a proven example of when a system is in place that is around your lifestyle, it is so much more easier to be consistent. All right. He's also a family man. All right. He's been on holidays. He's been traveling around a little bit, and enjoys his social life as well. You know, going out, meeting friends with golf, having social events with that side of things. And those sort of things should be a non-negotiable, absolute non-negotiable in your life. All right. When you look at people that lose some weight or get an epic result or change their physique, it shouldn't be a process of, I don't enjoy this, or it shouldn't be a process of thinking it's going to be hard work. It should fit into your lifestyle so that, okay, it will take a little bit of graft, it will take a little bit of discipline and self-restraint when it comes to certain elements of it. However, if it fits your lifestyle and it's suitable for you, there's no reason why you can't make your goals inevitable. And Scott is an absolute example or epitome of that. And yeah, he wanted to change his well-being, his general well-being. All right, just wasn't feeling great. All right, and we did that through losing some timber. And like I said, it's to be in the best shape at his daughter's wedding. So he had an end goal. He had a reason behind what he wanted to do. All right, and this is how we achieved that goal. So understood what Scott really wanted to achieve and why he wanted to achieve it. Okay, it was so clear that manifesting what it would feel like at his daughter's wedding if he didn't get in shape. Okay, quite a sort of feeling that is deeper rooted in you, because you want to be that example. You want your daughter, you want your family members to be proud of you, of the effort that you've put to change things. And because of that, then we knew that the adherence, we knew that what we set Scott, because there's a deeper sort of value to it, it was going to be more easy for him to go and achieve it because there's a need for it. All right. Scott has genuinely achieved the most consistent weekly wins out of everyone I've ever coached. Fact. Okay. This guy sets up his week to win. Whether that's making sure that he structures his week to plan his training around his schedule, whether it's prepping his meals in advance, whether it's making sure that if he can't get to training, he prioritizes his step count, the little things in between that. For example, making sure veg intake's higher, increasing his fibre, making sure hydration and electrolytes are there to back up the sort of increased cardio that he might go and do because he loves his spinning. Things like this, it's making those consistent changes to set himself up for consistent wins. Again, this guy is a great example of it. Give Scott a roadmap. Believe in Scott and the structure, his weeks with guidance on the hurdles and barriers that come. All right, making his progress smooth, and it genuinely has been for a very, very long time now. And also give Scott that sense of community. I always feel like this guy, when he's part of something, turning up for the park runs that he's been to previously as well, he's getting that additional value by doing it alongside other people, and his contribution to that has been brilliant. You know, he's one of the OGs in the group now because we've been working together for a significant amount of time. This guy knows exactly when people are winning, when people are not. He's not always completely active on it, but you don't need to be. And contributing when it matters is a huge thing. Structure with flexibility. Okay, this guy owns a business, 2 businesses basically, because he does plumbing as well as the guest house stuff. At the end of the day, business can move and shift about. He's super busy on weekends, but most people get weekends off. So having that authority and giving him support over that authority and allowing him to make those adaptations around his structure from the roadmap that we give him allows him to be consistent around his progress weekly, but make a level of inevitability with his end goal. So what did we actually teach? So simple nutrition and tracking. Okay, learning how to get that balance around his macros, calories to reach his desired goal. Okay, he's an example again of somebody that if they know they've got a social event coming on the weekend, it's what can I do beforehand to make sure that event, that social event, isn't going to spike my trends too much. How can I, during that event, utilize the alternative option so that my progress can actually continue over the weekend, for example? Okay, and these are the sort of things that we consistently spoke about. Resistance training, giving him a structured split and training that he genuinely enjoys around his lifestyle. At the end of the day, he is an absolute animal when it comes to training. His spinning ability is unreal. When we met for our gym session together, we did I think we did 15 minutes, 10 minutes of post-workout cardio, so not a lot. And I was like sat on like the 7th gear, and this guy was sat on the 10th, and his turnover speed was quicker than mine. Like the legs on this guy is incredible, and it shows from a mentality point of view that he really does push himself. All right, he really pushes that limit, making sure that he's training to failure, making sure that he is progressively pushing himself every single week to reach new goals and stretch that boundary around his training. Being organised, again, I think as somebody that is super busy during the week, but also on the weekends as well, you have to be organised and systemised when it comes to nutrition. Okay, making sure that meals are quicker and convenient, but also scratch that itch in terms of cravings, but also hit a macro and nutrient sort of target every single day. It's clear that giving Scott that authority over that, but also making those tweaks where we need to, it's shown in his progress. It really, really has, because I think it's getting to a point now where making progress is becoming easy for Scott, and that's because we've systemized it, we've fit it into his lifestyle, and actually at the end of the day, when you keep it nice and simple and keep it consistent, it can be enjoyable because you're seeing the progress weekly. And recovery. At the end of the day, it's not been smooth sailing. This bloke has gone through surgery. This bloke has been on holidays. This guy has seen different sort of amounts of work, different events. And one thing I want to emphasize is coming out of that recovery, actually, even when we couldn't train, even when step count couldn't be high, even when making sure that resting and progressing from a recovery point of view was optimal, this man still made sure that he nailed his nutrition so that when he was recovering, but also still actually making progress. And it is a proven individual that actually exercise accounts to only 5 to 10% of your overall progress. Nutrition is the foundations of all of it. And Scott made progress by basically being almost sedentary. Moving about the here and there, obviously we had to because of the Airbnb, the B&B, but at the end of the day, it shows that when you are in control of your nutrition and you are setting yourself those high standards, actually you can make real good progress. So, why haven't you done what Scott has done? Seriously, this guy is the epitome of what we are about. He really, really is. It's creating that sustainable change within yourself and your lifestyle so that you can achieve something epic and have your own epic journey. Okay? Like I said here, it's normal to not understand how to do it because you've never done it before. Unless you are trained, and for me, it's easy for me to say because I've done a degree in it. I understand it, so I know how to do it. But if you're reading it, or you're looking at this now, or you read my socials, whatever it is, I try and eat healthy, but I don't know how. I lose a little bit of weight, but then I slip, and if you don't know how to do it, you are not going to understand. If you don't understand, you're not going to know. Simple as that. You cannot be a brain surgeon tomorrow. Okay? And if you think you can, you're probably bloody nuts. All right? One thing I've learned once you have learned some of the basics of making these changes, it becomes a lot easier. When you set those foundations nice and early, okay, you set that routine early, you have that weekly structure, you have a written plan of action of tasks to go and complete for that week, and you've got someone in your corner that checks in with you and making sure that you are doing it. But second of all, if you're struggling with it, gives you an alternative option to change, or gives you that sort of backing from a mindset point of view on how to perceive it slightly differently, then your progress should become inevitable. And this guy is an example of that. I believe that his end goal is now inevitable because of the mission that this guy's been on. His adherence has been absolutely mint. Okay? And Scott is the living example of the saying, if you're not going all the way, what is the point in going at all? And we are almost at the 40 pounds mark lost. Unbloody real. He's now sky high with confidence. He eats like an absolute champion. None of this crappy bodybuilder type lifestyle. It's about balance. His training knowledge is through the roof. His energy is through the roof. And I'll be honest with you, the consistent win shows me that he's definitely happier and more motivated than absolutely ever. Now, if you want any more information about how we can genuinely give you a plan like Scott that fits your entire life, we literally sit down and audit what your week looks like. Drop me a message and let's see how we can genuinely help you. Okay? I want you to have your own epic result. It's as simple as that. This guy has honestly achieved something pretty special and he deserves a shout out. So when you see this, give it a like, give it a comment, say well done Scott, give him the love because he genuinely deserves it, because he has worked his ass off to get where he is now. We've still got time to get on and go. We're almost at the finish line. But man, well done Scott, mate. You are an absolute example of an action taker. So really well done. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a segment of showing exactly what we did. So yeah, see you later.